Let's have an overview now of the appointment scheduler for customer service jobs in Black Pearl. So we'll head on over to this account, which is just a sandbox account. And first of all, let's have a look at the schedule module. When you're first taken to the scheduler, the first thing you'll see is the weekly view. Now, what you're looking at are available hours between morning and afternoon of your shop. Now, there are two factors at play here. One, what are the opening hours of your shop that you've set? Two, what are the available hours of those technicians? So what this is telling me is, first of all, your shop is closed on Sundays. So that's why we have 0. Now, looking at Monday morning, it looks to me like we have 0 hours booked on service time out of 15 available. And same with the afternoon. It looks like there are 25 hours available and nothing booked. So now when we look at Wednesday the 11th, this tells me that there must be more technicians in the shop because it looks like there are much more booking hours available, being at 24. When we look at Friday the 13th, we can now see that there have been 2.5 hours of 24 booked. So all in all, this dealership has a lot of room left in the service department currently. Now let's look at the single day view. Currently, there's nothing booked, but if you were to scroll day by day, this is now where you can see what's booked day by day. Now in this example, we'll see that by technician, you can see what jobs are booked when. And we can see here that Bill Witherspoon has a job at 9 a.m. Now, you can change that job just by scrolling it. You could assign it to a different technician by assigning it to a different technician, as well as if you were to assign it to a technician who's not in that day. So let's have a look at George Tim. It's going to allow you to, yes, but it's going to give you that warning that you've now booked 2.5 hours of George Tim's time when George Tim is not there. So it will give you the red flag. And if you want to put it back to where it was, you can just go ahead and put it back to where it was. Now the 1 month view, this is where you'll now want to start looking at checkerboarding your dealership for efficiencies. And what we can see here is this is a 30-day view, which is scrollable by the bottom to get those 30 days in, based on per technician. So as you can see here, Bill Witherspoon has used 2.5 hours and there are 5 hours and 30 minutes left to be booked. So of course you'll want to start seeing these numbers go down and those numbers go up, and you'll want to start building in efficiencies with those numbers as well. The next item that you'll see on the dashboard is just that, the dashboard. Now we'll get more into this item when we get into job clocking and technician clocking. So what you're seeing here is a real-time, dynamically refreshed overview of your service department showing the efficiencies. Now, this is dependent on job clocking as well as manually entering times. If you're not entering those times in, you're not seeing those efficiencies. So as you can see here, we have an estimate of 4 hours on this one, and 1 hour has been clocked. And so this job here for Bob is looking quite efficient at this time. And if we scroll down here, we've estimated 3 hours, but it looks like a technician has been clocked on for 193.1 hours onto this job. This is a bit of a loss if this were the case. Realistically, this technician forgot to clock off a job, and there will need to be some adjustments put in place. Now, this dashboard dynamically refreshes on its own. However, if you want to refresh it yourself, you can just refresh it there and see the status of your shop. One more item to note as well is when you have the legend here, you can see what type of service jobs this is we're looking at, whether it's warranty, internal, deal, you name it. It will all be in there by color correction. This is where you can search unassigned appointments as well. So from here, you can search for all the appointments that have not been assigned yet. Now the last module that we'd want to look up here is the new appointment. So when you click on this, let's just have a quick overview of what we're seeing here. We'll see select a time, untitled appointment, but let's have a look at this now. We have a customer name, a concern, a job type, estimate hours. Does this look familiar? If it looks familiar, it's because not only at this stage would you be starting an appointment, you would also be starting a customer order. So if you start, first of all, by booking appointments, then you do not need to create that customer order. It will create it for you. As well is if that customer order already exists, you can go ahead and link it in. So let's look at this one, 947. If we click on that and link it in, now we can go ahead and create an appointment based on that customer order. And you'll see the concern is there, the job type, estimate hours, it's all there. There's your customer order. Let's take a look aside from this though and not save it at this point. And let's go to that customer order and have a look from a different angle. So let's go into our service jobs that are new. And we're going to look for that specific job, 947. And we'll open it up and have a look. Now, as you can see here, focusing on just the scheduling at this point, we're not going to focus on the other items within this service order right now. We're just focusing on creating an appointment. You'll notice just that you can click on this button, which will create an appointment. Look familiar? It's because it's the exact same module as before, which has already linked that job. So from here, you can pick a time. Looks familiar? Well, of course, now you're looking at the times available. So if we wanted to book this job on the 13th as well, we can book it in. All the concern is there. You can have your unit check-in time, which we will cover in a different video. So we'll just go over that one in a different video, as well as at this point you can assign a technician. So let's go ahead and assign a technician for this one. And let's say that this will also be Bill Witherspoon. Now, let's say that we wanted him to start at 9. And it's not going to let you now, is it? Because we already have established that Bill is booked in at that time at 9 o'clock. So as you scroll down, his next available time will be 11:30. So let's go ahead and book Bill in for 11:30 and create that appointment. Great. We've created that appointment. So now that that has been scheduled, let's go back and look at the scheduler. We can now see that on Friday the 13th, 3 of 40 hours are used. Let's go back to that single day view. We'll scroll over to the 13th. And there you can see now we have back-to-back jobs booked for Bill Witherspoon. If we look at our 1 month, we can now see that for Friday the 13th, Bill has 2 hours left of booking time. So this is where you'll now be able to start seeing those efficiencies in booking your shop time. So that instead of this being a big clustered checkerboard, you can start to bring the hours in and bring the efficiency in. So I hope this video has been helpful as an overview of the appointment scheduler on service jobs.